Welcome to The Explainer. So how does a business actually build a brand from the ground up? Well, today we're going to figure that out by playing brand detectives. We are going to deconstruct a company's identity using nothing but the public clues they've left behind.
Okay, so our case file for today has a website and a couple of digital flyers, all for a single Indian insurance agency. Now, on the surface, sure, they're just marketing documents. But if you really look closely, they tell a pretty fascinating story.
We're going to treat these materials like a case study by really digging into the words, the structure, and the personality that's on display. We can kind of reverse engineer the whole strategy. This is a really rare chance to see brand creation out in the wild.
Right. Every story needs a main character. So first up, let's get to know the business at the very center of our analysis.
So the business actually goes by a few different names, like Lic Services and the more official-sounding Lic Insurance and Investment Agency. Right off the bat, you can see a classic branding move. You establish a core identity, and then you adapt it for different situations. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. The brand immediately carves out a very distinct identity. First, you have this philosophical tagline that translates to something like security of life with life and also development of life. It sets this really grand, thoughtful tone. Then, get this, look at the scope. They're based in Dehradun, but they operate as an all-India agent. That's a very deliberate mix of local roots and huge national ambition. But this brand, it's not just some faceless corporation. At its very heart, there's a specific person. The marketing isn't just selling you a service, it's presenting an individual. So who is he? The advisor, Gauravdeep Gautam, is framed as way more than just an agent. You see these titles, CEO, researcher, organization leader, and they paint a picture of real authority and leadership. And his academic background, wow, it's incredibly diverse. A master's in mathematics and a master's in political science, plus expertise in international relations and marketing. This combination suggests a pretty unique approach, right? It's blending hard numbers with social and business know-how. So now we know who is behind the brand, but what's really crucial is why he's doing it. See, this brand isn't just about what you can buy. It's about the core beliefs that drive the whole operation. This quote, and it's attributed right to the CEO on the website, has such direct and unique phrasing. It's not your typical generic slogan. That phrase, "for future works use," that's a really distinctive way to frame what an investment is for. It's tying money directly to future actions, to future projects. And right here, the brand connects that kind of abstract idea of future works to a very, very tangible benefit. It frames insurance not just as, a safety net, but as a tool for ambition. It's a way to fund a big work, and it comes with a tax-free payout. That's a really powerful and practical pitch. Okay, this is, without a doubt, one of the most interesting branding choices I have ever seen on a financial services website. Right there, next to all the business services, is this formal sociological definition of the word agency. It suggests this deep intellectual foundation for the business. It elevates the role of an agent from just a salesperson to someone who helps you achieve personal power and social action. It's a really bold and fascinating move. So we've got the person and we've got the philosophy. But how does all that translate into actual products? Let's take a look at what this agency is really selling. The materials list a whole bunch of different policy types, which is pretty standard. But what's not standard is the information hierarchy. As you can see in this table, the level of detail they give you is, well, it's all over the place. Some plans get specific return rates and definitions, while others are basically just names on a list. This slide really brings that contrast into focus. Keyman Insurance gets a super clear, functional definition, but health plans, which is arguably a much more common product, gets nothing but the agency's name. Now, this probably isn't an accident. It's a communication choice. It's a signal telling you where the brand wants to put its focus and its expertise. And finally, let's look at the end game. Every single piece of marketing material is designed to get you to do something. So what is the main call to action here? The message honestly could not be any clearer.
Across the website, across both of the PDF flyers, this one phone number is the absolute star of the show. It's repeated over and over again. The call to action is as simple and direct as it gets. Pick up the phone. But beyond that main number, you've got a few other ways to get in touch. Notice there are 3 separate Gmail addresses. This isn't just one generic info@ account. It suggests there might be different channels for different reasons, or maybe it just shows the digital evolution of the business over time. And after all the deep philosophy, the academic credentials, the product lists, the entire message gets boiled down to this one final command. It is totally unambiguous, it's confident, and it is incredibly direct. This is the ultimate thing the brand wants to leave you with. So what this all reveals is that building a brand, especially one that's so tied to one person, is really about crafting a complete narrative. It's a mix of intellectual philosophy, real-world benefits, and a very direct personal appeal. The story here isn't just about insurance. It's about a unique worldview presented by a unique person. And that really leaves us with a key question to think about. What story are you truly telling?